Hi friends, welcome to EduTap. So welcome to this live session of ours which is regarding the schemes, the government schemes which pertains to ESI section. So friends, just let me know if you are able to hear me properly and if you are able to see the screens so that we can begin with this session. So we'll just wait for others to join in as well. Let us see. So friends, just telling you that 2018 examination is over and we are now heading towards the next year, that is 2019. So basically what we all need to do is prepare ourselves very well in advance so that at the last moment we don't struggle for lack of time, right? So friends, let me just tell you what we are going to do as part of these live sessions. So every week we'll be coming out with a live session. So what we'll be doing as part of this live session is we'll be covering a very important aspect or area, that is the government schemes. So friends, there are a lot of queries that I've been getting and we have been getting calls from students. They ask us to give strategy, and the area which they are really finding tough and in fact it is confusing as well is the government schemes part, right? So friends, this government schemes that we are going to refer to is going to be common for all the three examinations, that is RBI Gr B, NABARD Gr A and SEBI Gr A examination, and we are doing it for the 2019 year, right friends? So now let me just tell you that what has been the pattern of late. So of late we are seeing that in the examination, specifically phase 2 exams, we are getting paragraph based questions on government schemes. Okay, so usually the pattern has been such that you are being given a paragraph, right, and that mentions about a particular scheme without giving the name of the scheme explicitly. Then on that particular paragraph you get 5 to 6 questions or 3 to 4 questions to answer. The questions are very simple friends, not very deep, provided you have actually seen that scheme before, you have read about that scheme before. Now having said that, it is very tough for everyone to remember all the schemes that are there. So let us just take this as an initiative. Let us just cover this important area for examination. Let us make it simple for our examination, right? So what we'll do, we'll pick up each week one particular scheme. We will come out with a paragraph, a kind of a question like a 2-marker, right? We will discuss that paragraph, and based on that paragraph we will solve some questions, maybe 5 to 6 or 10. It depends upon the kind of scheme that we pick up, right friends? So now onwards, this particular area, which is a government schemes area, will not be a pain point for our students, right? We will make sure that before our examination we cover all the important government schemes through these live sessions, right? So now let me also tell you that this particular live session, which is a lecture 1 of government schemes, what we are going to do is, it is going to be more like a discussion wherein I will tell you the questions and we will discuss the answers. But from the next session onwards, I want you guys to participate. I will be putting forth questions. You all try coming up with the answers, and then we can make it an interactive one so that it stays longer in your memory, right friends? So now I'm seeing some of the questions as well. So Shobit, hi. Mega says please start the video. We'll be starting it. And again Raghuveer, hello. And Shobit has asked from where to read old schemes. So Shobit, don't worry, we will cover even the old schemes through this particular initiative of ours, wherein we'll take up all the important schemes, okay? And not only schemes, we are also planning to take up important reports as well, because of late there have been questions on reports wherein they're asking some important reports quoted from World Bank or IMF, and they're asking it in the fill in the blanks format also, okay? So we will do all those things so that you are ready for your examination, okay friends? So Nikki says hi. So yes, let's start with the session today, okay? So friends, first of all, when it comes to ESI, let me just tell you that there are certain chapters from which on which the schemes can be based. So on your screens you can see that the chapters like poverty alleviation, there's chapter like employment generation in India, there's sustainable development and environmental issues, there's industry and labor policy, export import policy, urbanization, migration, there's gender issues, social justice, health and education. So there can be questions from these particular chapters which are based on important schemes, right friends? So yes, Nishit is asking till which year should we study the government schemes. schemes. So Nishit, you need to understand here that there is not a particular year. Okay, see, if the current schemes obviously become important for us, right? But as well as those schemes which are prominent in particular areas. Okay, we will cover all those schemes, and at the end I will take all your questions. Don't worry. So for now we will begin with the session. Kindly just make this initiative of ours interactive, so that whatever your doubts are, I can clear them then and there. Right, friends? So okay, we'll begin with the question for today. So okay, so the question says, let us just read the paragraph. So basically, as I told you, what is the trend? They are going to give you a paragraph which is not going to mention the name of the scheme. The first question usually is identify the scheme which is talked about in the passage. Right, friends? So let us just see what is the passage out here. So the passage says, even as the government says that there is a lack of data on jobs, an analysis of available numbers shows that 3 flagship employment generation programs have generated 27 lakh employment opportunities in the last 4.5 years. So by now, if you read these 3 lines, you should have got the hint that they're talking about employment generation programs. So you see a word job here, right? And very specifically, they have mentioned about employment generation program. So we are heading towards a scheme which is related to employment generation, right? Okay, moving on to the next 3 lines. So among these 3 schemes, the it is linked, I'm really sorry about this. So among these 3 schemes, the credit linked subsidy program, which is aimed at generating self-employment opportunities through the establishment of micro enterprises in the non-farm sector by helping traditional artisans and unemployed youth, has created 65% of the employment opportunities. Right, friends? So they're talking about one scheme in particular out of the 3 schemes that they have given introduction for in the above 3 lines. So now they have picked up on this particular scheme. They are telling us it is a credit linked subsidy program, right? And it seeks to establish employment opportunities, very clearly mentioned. Okay, they are also giving some of the features for it, and this scheme is very important as they are saying that it has created 65% of the employment opportunities among these 3 schemes that we have mentioned above. Okay, now friends, let us see the first question. As I always told you that the first question would be identify the scheme talked about in the passage. So the first option is it the Aspire scheme, which is a scheme for promotion of innovation, rural industry and entrepreneurship? Is it Setu scheme, which is self-employment and talent utilization? Is it Prime Minister's employment generation program, which is PMEGP? Is it Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, or is it Manarega? Now friends, one more thing I would like to mention out here, that here I have given you full forms, right? I have expanded the scheme, but usually in the examination that is not going to be the case. Most of the times they would give you only the abbreviations, like they would write only Aspire, Setu, MPEGP, right? There's going to be PMGKY. So all those short forms are there. So always remember that full forms are very rarely given. Okay, now friends, let us shoot the answers. So Gaurav is saying it is a second option, and Sinmoy says it is C. Okay, and Joseph is saying it is A. Kindly participate, friends. You can just come up with the answer so that we can see how well you have been identifying the scheme till now. So the answer for this particular question is, we are talking about a very important scheme with regard to employment generation, which is Prime Minister's employment generation program, which is PMEGP, right? The correct option is C. Now friends, telling about this particular question, here comes the problem. In case you have not identified scheme, it becomes tough for you to answer the subsequent questions. That is not always the case, but generally that is going to become a problem for you guys. So this particular question, handle it very carefully, bang on, identify the scheme, and then you can start to relate the other important aspects of the scheme, right? So let us move on to the next question. So as I told you, you can see the answer here. I have marked it in the next part. So yes, Swapnil, you're correct. It is PMEGP. So okay, so let me just tell you, first of all, it's a central government scheme. Okay, what we'll do is, after each question we will see some of the important points, okay, so that we cover the scheme holistically. Okay, so here It's a central government scheme, okay, and it is a scheme for new entrepreneurs. This is very important, okay. So this word is, that's why highlighted. And anyone who wants to start their manufacturing unit or want to offer any business services. So this is a very general point about this, right? Next you have the second point, which says it is a credit linked subsidy scheme. So there is some kind of a loan, that is credit, which is being offered under this scheme to start one's own manufacturing unit or offer business services. Plus the government is going to give certain subsidy, okay, certain percentage of the loan the government is going to bear, okay. So let us move forward. Let us see what else we have in store. Okay, so the next question, immediately, most of the time the question would be regarding the implementing ministry, okay. So right now, let me just tell you that what happens is we take the schemes for granted, okay. We just say if it is employment, we will link it to labor and employment ministry, okay, but that is not usually the case. That is why whenever you're going through a scheme, be very conscious about picking upon the implementing ministry, right friends? So here the question is, which of the following is the implementing ministry of the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program? Now the answer to this particular question of ours is, you need to tell me guys. Yes, Dhruv Chopra is saying MSME. Anyone else? Just attempt it. It's okay even if it is wrong. We are just here for a discussion. So Prabhat says again Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Akanksha again says A. So yes, come on. I really want you guys to participate in it. It's perfectly fine even if you go wrong. We are just here for a discussion among ourselves. Aman is right again, says MSME. Shobit says MSME. Uday Kumar says C. So he goes for Human Resource and Development. Abhishek again coming up with the correct answer, A. Shubham Saxena, MSME. Okay guys, so I have let out the answer while discussing. So the answer is Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. So it is the MSME ministry which is implementing ministry for this particular important employment generation program of ours. Right friends? Okay, so let's move on. Next, what is in store for us? Okay, so next question that we're going to deal with out here is which of the following body acts as the nodal agency for implementing the scheme at the national level? Now friends, understand that previous question was regarding the implementing ministry, okay. This particular question that we are referring to is nothing but the implementing nodal agency, okay, at the national level. Now friends, let's try out the answers for this. Let's see how many of you are getting it. Okay, so Prabhat Yadav again says A. It is Khadi and Village Industries Commission. Guys, you can just attempt it, right? So let me just wait for a second in case any of you make up your mind in coming up with the answers. So yes, Usha says A. Nikki again comes up with A. Yes guys, attempt it. It is not the real paper here. We are just having a discussion, casual one, right? So yes, Simran again KVIC. Swapnil says A. Praful goes with B. It is Niti Aayog. Yes, it is confusing. Many of us might think it is Niti Aayog. Let us see what it is. Okay, so again Raghuveer Kirat says A, and Shubham Saxena KVIC. I think, yes, let's see if your thinking is right. So Sumit Das again A, and Saurav says B. So many B's, so very sure it is Niti Aayog. Okay, so Uday Kumar again KVIC. Niladri, Saranya and Akanksha both go for B, Niti Aayog. Okay, so Vivek Gosain again KVIC. Okay, yes Sunny, I'll answer your questions at the last, don't worry. So here, okay, so as per the answers that you guys are giving, I can see that there is a close tie which is between Khadi and Village Industries Commission and Niti Aayog. Okay, so the answer for this particular question is Khadi and Village Industries Commission, KVIC, right? So the implementing ministry is MSME, right? And the nodal agency at the national level for this particular scheme is Khadi and Village Industries Commission, that is KVIC. So very good for those of you got it right, and for those of you who didn't, very good chance. Now see the correct answer so that you don't go wrong in the examination. As I told you guys that we are here for a discussion and all are here to learn, right? So let us learn. Fine. So So, okay, let me come up with some other important points as well. So we have seen that at the national level, the nodal agency is Khadi and Village Industries Commission, right? Now at the state level, who is implementing this scheme? So it is being implemented through state KVIC directorates, state Khadi and Village Industries boards, district industry centers, and through banks. Okay, so what happens is, in case of the states, the KVIC routes the money, the government subsidy, through certain designated banks, and these banks would eventually disperse the amount into the bank accounts of the entrepreneurs. Okay, got it? Very simple. So you need to understand this, right? And now when we are talking about the Khadi and Village Industries Commission, that is KVIC, you need to understand that it was established under a particular act, okay, which is Khadi and Village Industries Commission Act, and it is, so we can say that it is a statutory organization and it falls under the Ministry of MSME, right? So these two organizations, just understand them properly, right? So let us move on to the next question. Okay, before that, the objectives of KVIC are given, so you can just have a reading. It is not that important, but you need to have a basic idea. Okay, so the social objective of providing employment in rural areas, the economic objective of producing saleable articles, where this is important in combination with the first one, right? So that's it. We'll move on to the next important question. Okay guys, so fourth one, be ready. Let us see how many of you guess it right. We will do a guesswork also, not an issue, because we are just discussing here. Okay, so the fourth question of ours says, what is the maximum cost of the project or the unit which is admissible in manufacturing sector and in the business or the service sector respectively? Okay, so now you need to understand here that there is a separate cost, there is separate limit, okay, maximum cost of the project that is approved, okay. So you need to tell me here that in the case of manufacturing sector, what is that maximum cost of the project, and in the case of business or service sector, what is the cost of the project. Now guys, this is a bit confusing. I'm also getting confused after seeing the options, I guess. So just let me know how many of you are going for the answers. Okay, so Prabhat says A, Dhruv is going with D, Anivesh E, Sivaji again A, Prabhat specifically writes down 25 lakhs and 10 lakhs. Yes, good one, because it's confusing. Simran goes with option C. So Anivesh says correct. Would love to skip this one though. I guess yes, sometimes you need to, because it is really confusing. So yes friends, one more good point that Anivesh has come up with here. I would like to say that in case you are not sure, the best option is to leave, okay, because these kind of questions, there might be confusion existing in your minds, okay. So don't try to do a guesswork when these kind of questions come. For these kind of questions, either you know the answer or you don't know the answer, okay. So don't do a rough guesswork for these kind of questions. I would strongly recommend not to do that, okay. So yes, Akanksha A and Praful A. Okay, so people are out there going for A, and I guess all of you are correct. It is A. So for manufacturing sector, the project cost, the maximum limit being 25 lakhs, and for the service sector, it is going to be 10 lakhs, right friends? So yes, now these figures you would not forget in your sleep also, I guess. It is going to be 25 lakhs and 10 lakhs, right guys? So moving on, let us see the eligibility. Now before we go on to the next question, it is very important that you get to know the eligibility criteria. Again, you can get direct questions from this particular aspect as well. So okay, so it says any individual who is above 18 years of age. So now note this down, age criteria is there. You need to be 18, okay. Then at least 8th standard pass for projects which is costing above rupees 10 lakh in the manufacturing sector and above rupees 5 lakh in the business or the service sector. So yes, you need to be 8th standard pass criteria, right? And again, only new projects are considered for sanction. Now friends, when we were having a look at the first question, you remember there was a line which said new entrepreneurs, right? So again, link that here. So only new projects are considered for loan sanction under this particular employment generation program. Then who else are eligible? Are self-help groups eligible? Yes, they are eligible, but there is a condition, including those belonging to BPL program provided that they have not availed benefits under any other scheme. So this is very important disclaimer out here, that if the self-help groups have been availing any other benefits, then they cannot apply under this particular scheme of ours. Then institutions are also eligible. They should be registered under Societies Registration Act 1860. Production cooperative societies eligible, charitable trusts eligible, right? Now you need to be very clear that the units that have already availed government subsidy under any other scheme of government of India or the state governments are not eligible. So friends, please make sure you are thorough with these eligibility criterias, right? So now moving on to the next important, okay, Shubham is asking a very valid question, I guess. So he says, how to remember so much? Yes, I guess most of you are thinking this. So friends, don't worry, one or two times if you see this particular section, I think you will grasp it very easily. Don't take it like a task, okay? So very casually, above 18 years of age they should be, and self-help groups, yes, they are allowed. Very general points these are, okay? You don't have to be registered under any other scheme. So just see this once or twice and you will be able to, understand this, right? So, okay. Now moving on to the next question that we have in store. So yes, this is something important. Make note of this. So again, you guys are going to ask me how much more to learn. So yes, we can do this, I guess. So the fifth question says, what is the rate of subsidy of the project cost for projects being implemented in rural areas under the special category? So friends, as I told you that there is a percentage of the project that the government is going to bear in the form of subsidy, right? So that rate of subsidy are actually different, okay, for general category, special category, plus rural area and urban area, okay? So there are going to be different rates. So now the question that I'm asking out here is, you need to tell me the rate of subsidy for those projects that are being implemented in rural areas under the special category, okay? So friends, come up with your answers. Let me see. Okay, the answers have started. Yes, Nikki says revision is the key. Exactly, Nikki, you're absolutely right. So Dhruv says answer is D. Okay, 10% Dhruv. Okay, fine. Usha says B, 25%, fine. Shivaji comes up with 35%. Okay, yes, we do have an option like that. Saranya says C. Shalu Bansal says again 35. So friends, yes, tell me, you need to tell me the answer again. Guys, you can just attempt out here. Okay, so Simran 15, again 25, okay, C, don't know, okay, very honest, I guess. Yes, okay, so Nikki says she would, skip, yes, okay, fine, skipping is also an option. Okay, so let us just go directly to the answer, guys. So the answer for this particular question of ours is 35%. So basically, yes, this is a kind of a question that I told you, if you are not aware, skip this question, okay? Because don't go for wild guesses for this fifth question that I am showing here and the previous one that we showed there, okay? So these two questions are such that if you don't know, leave it there. You will definitely go wrong if you are going for wild guesses in these questions, okay, friends? So yes, now comes an important aspect where each of us should remember this tabular column, guys. See this tabular column, area wise percentages is given. There is rate of subsidy here. Okay, so for area you can see urban area, rural area, right? There is categorization as I told you. So for general category, urban area 15%, general category, rural area 25%, special category, okay, special category includes what? SC, ST, OBC, minorities, women, physically handicapped, ex-servicemen, northeastern states, hill and border areas. So for that, the rate of subsidy for urban areas is going to be 25%. If the project is in the rural area, it is going to be 35%, right? So this was the question that we had asked, rural area, special category, right, friends? And there's one other column that you can see here there is a certain amount that the beneficiary should bear, okay? This is called beneficiary's own contribution of the project cost, okay? This can also be a probable question, right? So for general category, the person should bear 10% of the project cost, okay, from his own pocket, and in special category, it is 5%. So all these percentage, you do not get confused, okay? You can actually remember them after seeing it once or twice or maximum 3 times. That is more than enough, right? So let's move on to the next question, guys. Okay, so I guess this is the last question for today. The question says, the scheme mentioned in the passage has been created by merging two schemes. Okay, so one of them is Rural Employment Generation Program, and what is the name of the other scheme? Now you need to tell me this. Okay, so I am really expecting the answers out of you, at least for this question. Come on guys, you need to participate so that your revision also becomes stronger. So yes, so here let me just tell you that usually whenever there are schemes that have been made by merging 2 or 3 schemes, you need to know the merger has been taken between which 2 schemes. That is a probable question in the examination. Okay, so I guess only Kiran is replying. Kiran says B, okay, and Dhruv says A. Okay, Uday Kumar comes up with the answer. Okay, giving short forms, even I am not able to comprehend it immediately. That is what the examiners do basically with us. Saranya again A, okay. Saurav says A. Praful Divedi again A, good one. Swapnil A. Okay, so Uday Kumar, okay, Amrita, Kiran More, all going for A, guys. I guess you all are very sure about this particular question. Is it too easy? Then Lijo again says D, okay, one separate answer I have got. Okay, so again Prabhat again coming up with A, Praful, okay, again. Okay, so let's see answer. Okay, you want me to wait, guys? Okay. Fine, okay, smart student comes up, okay, A, good, Mega A, Deepak higher A. Okay, so Deepak was to miss the last question, but this one he is answering. Niladri says A. Okay, good one out here. So yes, I guess most of you would win, I guess. So the answer is yes, it is Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana. So guys, you guys are sharp, I guess, huh? You have done the scheme before. So okay, so yes, so the 2 schemes that were merged to create Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. One is Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana. Just engrave these names in your mind. That is what we can do. And the second important scheme that is here is Rural Employment Generation Program, REGP, right? So yes guys, so these are the 2 schemes that have been clubbed to create this one. Okay, so one other important information. So Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana and the Rural Employment Generation Program were clubbed together, and they were in operation. Actually, these were separately in operation till 31st of March 2008. And after that, this particular scheme came into existence, that is PMEGP. So guys, if I ask you which is the financial year in which this particular scheme was established, you would say 2008-9. Okay, so it started off by 1st of April 2008. Okay, so note this name down as well. Okay, so 2008-9, do not forget about this as well, right? So yes friends, so let me just tell you something before I wrap up out here. So okay guys, I will take your questions, don't worry. And here you can see that, see here checklist friends, you can see the checklist I have displayed on your screens. So basically whenever you're doing a particular scheme, make sure that these 10 points are covered. Okay, so let us do the revision for today's one. So here the first question is date, year, place of its launch. So we have just now seen that 2008-9 fiscal, this particular scheme came into existence. Now this is not a new scheme, so we don't need to bother about the place of its launch. Okay, so we will keep that aspect aside. Is it a new scheme or a rebranding of an existing scheme? Yes, it was a merger of 2 existing schemes, right? And by now all of you, I'm sure, who are watching this session know the names of those 2, right? Then comes the ministry, or the ministry is implementing it. We have just now seen that it is under MSME. Most of you got it right. Do we have any sub schemes under it? As of now, it is no. Beneficiaries, target population, we have seen the target population, anyone from the rural or urban area want to set up a project above 18 years of age, and I think there were many other points that we have seen. Criteria to identify the beneficiaries, we have already seen the criteria. There should be some percentage of the cost being borne by the entrepreneurs. Okay, mechanism through KVIC and the designated banks. Now budget outlay. Okay, budget outlay guys, I'm not telling it here, it is going to be obsolete, because again we are going to be waiting for the budgets, right? So let us wait for the budget, and we will keep this question on hold, and later we will discuss, no issues, when we are going on for the discussion of the schemes that are mentioned in the budget. Target date of completion of the provisions, we do not have any such targets as such right now. If there are any, you can cover it in the current affairs. We'll also try covering it, right? And any current affairs which is related to the scheme, as of now it was in the news. Okay, and friends, yes, the last point, the 10th point, let me tell you guys. So there was this was in news in the month of December mid, okay, wherein this particular paragraph that you can see here is directly picked up from the news. Okay, so this is a important fact that you need to memorize. This the lines that you can see on your screens. So this is something important that is related to this particular Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. Okay, so yes friends, this is all for today. This is the discussion for the first scheme of ours. We will be coming up with many more in the coming weeks. We will sit together, discuss in the same way that we are doing it. Any other questions that you have, friends, you can just ask me. I am here to answer it. So yes. Okay, Prahlad is asking a valid question. Do we have to study each scheme with this depth? Yes, Prahlad, you have to, because that has been the trend of late, wherein we are getting questions digging like this, okay, wherein you are asked about the establishment year, implementing ministry, in fact, eligibility criteria. So all these things, yes, you have to cover, and we will help you out in that. We will cover for you guys, but you need to participate. Next time, I want really more answers. So I'll be coming up with a new scheme next week. So Uday says, thank you. Welcome, Uday. Welcome. And thank you for participating. Saurav says thanks. And you're welcome. Smart student, welcome. So, yes, we'll be there. So, maybe another 2 minutes. I'm on hold. Anything else you want to ask me? I'm here to answer. Okay, Saranya Chandrasekhar asks me, is this for IBPS SO as well? Okay, so Saranya, right now, let me just tell you that for IBPS SO, we are not taking questions, but just here, it would include agriculture schemes rather than general schemes of ESI. And Nikki says, thank you, welcome Nikki, thank you, and keep participating. Praful, again, welcome. Dhruv, welcome. So guys, thank you a lot, and it was really fun. In fact, we can just have this as a game maybe next time as well. So it was really good that you all guys joined in, and let me just meet you all next week, right, with another scheme with even more tricky questions. I'll frame tricky questions. You guys are answering correct always. Huh? So Aman says thank you. Welcome, Aman. Okay, Raghuveer, welcome. Welcome so much, in fact. Yes. Okay, guys. So here we are leaving here with this, and I really hope that you found this video useful, and thank you so much. Keep learning. If you have any queries, kindly drop us a mail at hello@edutab.co.in, and you can also give us a call at 814-620-7241, right? And yes, thank you so much. God bless.